Hello, you lovely people. Nice to be with you today. Thank you for watching this. I really appreciate you. So today, I wanted to talk about triggers, about pushing people's buttons. The reason I'm doing that is that I have had a couple of conversations recently where I was remembering a talk that I did a few years ago for the parents of the children in a school where I was doing some coaching. And the parents were really interested in what was happening to their children. The children would come home from school, some of them, and they would be so calm and relaxed and laid back, and the parents would be, we need you to do your revision, you've got to do it now. And then the kids were like, well, okay, well, I'll wait until you settle down first, and then we'll talk about it. The parents were, what have you done to my child? So we ended up doing a series of like evening talks, so the parents would know what the children were being taught. So one evening I was in the middle of the floor. The topic was talking about stress and where stress comes from. And I think there were probably about 50 parents there, and they were all fascinated in this conversation about stress, because they all kind of felt stress in one way or another. I remember one lady stood up and she said, but my children know exactly which buttons to push to make me angry, to get a rise out of me, to get me to react. And I remember stopping for a moment, and I remember having this thought. I remember having this thought came in, and it said, there are no buttons. Now, there was a moment in time where I thought, I've got 50 parents out here who all feel that they have buttons and their children can push them, and it looks really real to them. Do I really want to tell them that there are no buttons? Well, I kind of found, I found my mouth opening, and I found there are no buttons coming out. And then there was a big silence. And I then kind of went on to explain my reasoning. And I explained that the feeling that we get when people are saying things that we disagree with or we don't like, when we're being criticized, when we're being judged, the kind of things that this lady's children were saying to her that really got her upset, weren't the things that got her upset. I'm going to say that again. The things that the children were saying and doing that were getting her upset, in her mind deliberately, weren't the things that were getting her upset. The way the mind works is from the inside out. So what we are experiencing, what we are seeing in those situations is our thinking, our perception about what those children are saying. It looks so much like what the children are saying is somehow affecting us directly. It's causing the feelings that we're feeling. But everything, 100% of our experience in life, perceived reality, has to come through the filter of our thinking, of our conditioned mind. Therefore, it's not a true picture of what's happening. You know, this lady has this belief that the children were doing this on purpose, saying specific things to get a specific reaction out of her. But what was actually happening was her conditioned mind, her habitual belief system was telling her what those children were trying to do. What those children were actually doing was just information. It's just data. Until it actually enters our thought system, it's completely neutral. Then our thought system makes meaning of what we're hearing. And then when it makes meaning of it, we feel it. In that moment, we are only ever feeling our thinking in the moment. Only ever feeling the thinking that we believe that looks real to us. So, I said all this to this lady, expecting some significant pushback. But what was interesting was she kind of just stood there for a moment, and she kind of had this shift in front of me. She saw it. She said, "There are no buttons. I've been creating that. I have been reacting to what my children have been doing and saying out of habit, out of what I have created as being true over the years." And to cut a long story short, I still have contact with this lady every now and again. And the first thing she says to me is, "There are no buttons." Isn't it great that if we can just get a glimpse in the moment of something's not right here, something's not true. If we begin to not take our thinking so seriously, if we can begin to doubt the feelings that we're having from the thinking, then maybe in those situations, we can take a step back and we can actually respond to the situation rather than react. We can respond to the situation in a calm, clear way, with clarity, because then we'll know what to do. Reacting rarely ends well. So that's my thing for today. There are no buttons, though I do forget from time to time. It feels like I do sometimes, but then I remember. Thank you for listening. See you next time.